We are in a new training block. Welcome to Chasing Sub 4.
Fumbling on you. I can't find the words to say what I want to. What we got is brand new. So we gon' take our time, yeah. Got a lot we've been through. Fumbling on you. I can't find the words to say what I want to. What we got is brand new. So we gon' take our time, yeah. Got a lot we've been through. I'm up that hut hike. I'm up the gut, then spike. I'm on my Mark Sanchez. I'm off her butt all night. So yeah, let me get in for a minute. I'm thinking the way that the wheels been spinning. I'm going against first in a couple of inches. But yeah, she flooded the engine and that's that 2-seat. That fumble brewski, stay loose. She off the truly and I told that rock, but that ain't no excuse. She thinks that's bougie. I gotta move these right loose. She hit like Brewski and that proves you can't expect nothing but truth. I just be fumbling on you.
Photo taken. It's always interesting when people are like, when you're doing your photos or you're taking videos and people are like looking, they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But I used to get embarrassed about stuff like that, but then started realizing about building your brand and at the end of the day, what are you doing it for? So if it's to get your brand out to the most people as possible and to inspire and to build a company, you can't get embarrassed by the small things, by people just staring at you, because ultimately you have a goal. And if those people stop you from accomplishing what you set out for, then at the end of the day you're doing it for them and not for the people who you're actually trying to affect. So let's get out here, let's get it done. So heading to drop off a item, some special edition pink half tights that I created. I created them because I wanted to try a different color. I created them because I wanted to try a different color, but then two, also, for me, I wanted to create something that my wife thought was cool and that I thought was cool. Ultimately, the 3P brand, I want it to be something that, whether it's a runner that's running a 6-minute pace to a runner that's running a 15-minute pace, I want it to just be cool for the running community. But I'm dropping off a pair of pink Mach 5 half tight running tights to a customer. And when this customer reached out, I know I'm from the running community, but when they reached out, it was interesting because you realize that words mean a lot. And I, of course, said, hey, I appreciate you and I appreciate your support. And what they said back was, I am just happy to be a part of something that you are building, a small part of something that you're building. And it makes you realize that, it's little things like that that mean really, really big, or mean the world. They're really, really big things when you're trying to create a brand, when you're trying to create something that you think is important and other people can see that. Because you might look at it as a small sale, or just a runner supporting, or someone needing that specific item that you're selling at that point. But what they see is you're building a brand that is going to mean something in the long run. I just thought that would be a pretty cool thing to share. So I'm dropping it off to her and looking forward to see her reviews on this item. So we are in the new training block, officially 18 weeks away from the Erie Marathon. And we got a long time to go, but we also are going to focus on this training block and really give it our all. This is it's fun because for the first time I have a summer training block that I'm looking forward to. Usually it's like, oh man, the heat's going to kill me and X, Y, and Z. Last summer I was training for the triathlon towards the end of the summer, so I didn't get a chance to do my long rides on my bike. So now that I'm just focusing on running and cycling for recovering, and of course course, keep my cardio up, I'm going to focus on 3 major metrics that's going to get me the results that I need. One is my nutrition. I really struggle with nutrition. If you've been watching the last marathon blogs that I post, I'm usually no carbs or adding carbs back into my plan. And I feel like in the recent block, adding carbs back into my plan helped me. I felt so much better on my workouts. But finding that balance of when to add the carbs in and, you know, how to eat, I really struggle with that. So my nutrition is going to be number 1 on getting me the results that I need. Number 2 is focusing on sleep and intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting has been something that I played with over the years, or not played with, but I've introduced over the years, and I actually gave me great benefits and showed me that it's important for my body, but also creating that discipline. I feel like if I can have that discipline on when to stop eating and stop having like impulsive times when I'm impulsively eating, I've noticed that I've been back fasting for about a week, and I noticed that lately I'm just enjoying my food. And if I'm gonna be honest, in the last year, when I'm not fasting, I'm just eating because it's time to eat, or I think it's time to eat, or I'm bored, and I'm not really looking forward to eating. I'm just eating because it's just what we do. But you get those urges and you get those, you know, those quick impulses to just have something to eat, and I do it. So fasting for my health, but also fasting because that's one thing that I know I can personally control. If the weather's bad, I can't control that. If I get an injury, you know, although I can do injury prevention, you can't control how your body reacts. But you know, one thing I can control is what I put into my body and when I put it into my body. So that's number 2. And number 3, it goes along with number 2, but sleep. One thing that I struggle with is sleep, because I do operate I do operate multiple businesses. I have a full-time job. I'm a full-time husband. You know, a father. Sleep is sometimes becomes a second priority, or a third or fourth priority in my life. So one thing that I'm going to prioritize is sleep. I can't promise that, or can't promise myself that I'll get 8 hours every night, but at least attempting to. I'm going to try that. And how I'm going to track my sleep is I'm going to use the Whoop tracker. So I've been using Whoop since January, off and on. One thing I struggle with is actually charging it up, or, you know, it can be so easy to just have on my wrist and not really think about charging it. But I'm going to make a very solid effort from today to, you know, the end of this 18 weeks to make sure that I'm getting sleep, I'm using my Whoop, and I'm actually tracking not only my sleep but my health, understanding what my body is doing on the days where it's not feeling great versus the days when I'm feeling at my best. So my goal this training block is to get under sub 4 hours. I've been chasing this goal for at least 5 years now, and it's time to actually knock it off. I've done a 70.3 Ironman. I've done 8 full marathons. This will be my 9th marathon, and I've done every single thing that I've attempted or sought out to do in this endurance space, and now it's time to tackle the sub 4 hour marathon. So I appreciate you guys for joining me this far on this journey, and I appreciate you for sticking around and cheering me on, and also being there to where I started a company around endurance sports and support me in that way. Right now, we have our running half tights up on the 3PE company website. And tell me how you like the products. I'm always going to keep on. You know, creating new products. So I'm just eager to get everything out. So right now, check out the website. Link is in the bio in this video, or I'll put the link below in this video if you want to purchase any half tights for the endurance company, and we're just gonna keep it there. And if your means of support is just watching this video, I appreciate that too. New podcast coming out, The Art of Fitness, and I'm looking forward to that. Me and my co-star, my co-host Mac, Michaela, and yeah, we're gonna keep it going. So we're heading into the summertime, and we're just gonna keep it rocking there. So appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Peace. All right, just left the gang. They had a longer ride than me today, and they're also faster. I gotta upgrade my bike. It's been way too long, but we're about to descend this hill and get back to the car. We gotta go coach some soccer. Let's get it.